Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes and I'm playing Starbound version 1.0, and in this Let's Learn I'm going to show you the version 3 of TheGlaive's Airlock. Now let's go ahead and pull up the instructions that he gave for this version 3. Okay, now that you have sussed out, how about this? The beginning state has all the doors closed, the big room with all the lights are out, and no water in any of the rooms. The innermost door is opened using a panel, allowing you to go into the mini room and use another panel to lock the two inner doors and turn on the alarm lights that stay on for a good 5 or 6 seconds. After the delay, the other lights turn on, the alarm stops, and the outer door opens and water fills the room. Then after that, it's filled. The smaller room is filled with water from a hatch, and the middle door opens. Then you need panels on both sides of the outer door to reset the system. Now you have the perfect airlock system. So that was his third challenge for our little airlock here. And I think I did it because I worked on it during my stream today, and the glaive just happened to watch it being built. I'm going to put a link in this video to show you, to give you the section of the stream where I actually built it, if you're interested in watching it being built. But this video is all about explaining what I did. So here we go. So we have some panels that easily allow us to access the inner airlock here. Just run on in, not even having to click on the door at all. Then, just like we had before, we have an in and then an out button. We click on the out button, and lights turn off, and sirens go on. The little mini airlock fills with water, and we're ready to go. Then the last bit of the challenge was to allow us to close the airlock and reset the whole system inside. Now we can go on an adventure, have a good time, come back, open the airlock again, and wait till it's completely filled with water. And once it gets to the top, the next door will open up for us. And we just click on the in button, and everything gets drained out, allowing us to open this door again. So here we go. That is the airlock, version 3 of TheGlaive's airlock that he had requested. Now I'm going to go ahead and explain how everything works. The most complicated piece of this airlock is actually the inner door. And the inner door requires 3 layers of gates to behave in the proper way that we're looking to use for this airlock. Now the first gate is an OR gate. Now the OR gate is dictated by the 2 pressure plates that are next to the door, allowing you to walk on through when it's in the unlocked state. Works really nicely. Don't have to hit E in the door at all, you just walk right through. Now let me pull up the wiring here so you can see that the 2 pressure plates are tied into both of the inputs of this OR gate. As I step on one pressure plate and I step on the other, you can see that the glowing red line going into the OR gate. The OR gate then goes into the first AND gate, and then the AND gate also has the OR gate as well as this persistent switch, which is linked to the 2 buttons. You might be able to see it, may not be able to see it, but these 2 lines of power go right into the 2 different buttons. The in button is going to power on the persistent switch, and the out button is going to power off the persistent switch. So as long as the persistent switch is on, and I'm on a pressure plate, the first AND switch, or AND gate, is basically going to be powered and allow the door to be opened. Now, with the AND gate is then powering the second AND gate. And I put this in later, right after the stream, because I didn't like the fact that I could open this door while the room was being drained of water. Let me show you what I mean here. So the water fills in both of these rooms, and what I found was when I hit the in button, I had the ability of opening this door before the water was drained out of the room. So I went and I added a third stack, a third AND switch to capture the power that's coming from the first AND stack, or AND gate, so you can see that the power connection's right here, as well as this NOT switch here, this NOT gate. And the NOT gate is now connected to this water detector right here. So what you're getting now is I can use the panels to open it. I make sure that it's in the unlock position so that the and works. And then the fact that there's no water would then allow this door to be opened. So those are the 3 states that are required to keep this door open. If any of those states are broken, then the door can't be opened. The not gate here was necessary because when we needed this to be powered, we needed the and switch to be powered. So when there's no water being detected by this water detector, it's sending no power to the not gate. So we want to make sure that it's sending a powered line into this second AND gate. You can see that both of these, the NOT and the first AND, are powering this second AND gate here. But as soon as there's water in here, as soon as this door is locked, we're going to get different results. So let me show you how that works. So I'm going to let all the water in, and then I'm going to stand on the pressure plate. You'll see that only the OR gate is now powered because the pressure plate is powering the OR gate. Then I unlock it, and you'll see the OR and the AND are now powered, but as soon as the water is completely gone from this room, all 3 are opened. So that allows us to use this inner door in a way that allows us to access the airlock perfectly and not have it opened when there's water in the airlock. All right, moving on to the next component. The in button is linked to 3 different components. It's linked to the persistence switch that we spoke about earlier, which leaves it in a powered state, which then allows the door to be opened. So this basically unlocks this door. On the other side, it links to the off position of this persistence switch, which then feeds into this XOR. Let me pull up the wiring. It feeds into this XOR gate here that allows the main door to be closed. So this button opens this door and closes this door. The third component that it's hooked up to is this timer switch right here, which then powers all of the drains. So this button here is unlocking this door, locking this door, and then draining the whole system of water. And you see how that works. So everything is in the lock state, so I can't get into the main room, but I can get outside. But as soon as I hit the in button, you'll see everything getting powered. The drains will drain the water. This door will close because the XOR gate is not being powered anymore because the persistence switch is now in the off position. And yeah. And now this door is unlocked as well. All right, let's move on to the out button. The out button is connected to 3 systems as well. The first system is the persistence switch that we talked about earlier, which is now linked in the off position, which will keep this door unlocked. So if we click on this button, this is in the off position, which is stopping this AND switch, and thus making the rest of the system inoperable. This door is locked. The second component is this second persistence switch on this side, and it's linked to the on position. As you can see, it's now in the on position, which then powers this XOR on this side, which is then powering the door. So here's the output of the XOR switch into the input of the main airlock door. The third component that this button is affecting is this 3-second timer switch right here, which is affecting 3 different things. It's affecting the lights, so it's turning them off by going through this NOT switch. So you can see the output, input, and the output's going to the 2 different lights here. So as soon as this timer is started, these lights turn off, and then these lights, the alarms, turn on, and it will also open this hidden hatch here, which will allow additional water to rush in along with the water that's coming in through the front. It will fill up the main airlock extremely quickly. So the out button is locking this door, doing stuff with the lights and opening up the hatch for 3 seconds, as well as going through this persistent switch to the XOR to open the main door. The next set of components that we're going to go over are these 2 water detectors, this delay switch, as well as this XOR switch. Now what these are for is to basically do 2 things. We wanted to open up the hidden panels that are up here to allow water to rush into the middle room, which is part of the requirements, as well as opening this door for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at the wiring. This is where it gets a little bit messy. But as you can see, this water detector is connected to this XOR. This water detector is also connected to the XOR. And the output of this XOR is going to a chained grouping of the different hidden panels that are above the little mini airlock. So the objective of this is, as soon as this room is filled with water, these panels will open up, releasing water into the little mini the mini airlock that's here. As soon as the mini airlock fills up with water, this will power on both of the water detectors at once, which will then close the XOR. So if you remember, an XOR, when both of the inputs are powered up, it will actually turn off what it's powering. So this is a way to open up this set of panels up here and then close them once its job is complete. Let's go ahead and take a look at that really closely. So the water's filling up. As soon as this water detector goes off, this opens, and as soon as this water detector is initiated, it then closes the panels. And I made sure to shove this water detector up as high as I can so that when it actually gets touched by water, this room is fully submerged when that occurs. Now, you can see here that this delayed switch is powered as well. Let's take a look at that. So the delayed switch is connected by the water detector, and then it goes into, so the input is from the water detector, and the output is going to the door. Now, I didn't like how fast the door was opening when when the water was filling it up. It didn't feel as dramatic. I mean, the whole system's really fast as it is. Let's just see it one more time. So I wanted a little bit of a delay to occur. So as soon as this room starts filling up, and boom, there's a little bit of a delay where this door opens up, which makes it a little bit more dramatic. It just felt really fast. So I added a delay switch here to make once this water detector goes off, give it like half a second before this door swings open. All right, so that's that system. So basically, 2 water detectors, one to open up these panels here to release the water in. Once this one is fired, it will then close these panels and then open this door. There we go. So the last component we're going to talk about is the main door here. Now the main door, the requirement was to allow the main door to reset the whole system while you're outside. So I'm going to show you what flipping this switch does before we talk about it. As you can see, it's draining all the water inside and resetting the whole thing. I think the requirement was we don't want any salt water destroying our equipment inside, so let's go ahead and drain it while we're away doing our thing. So as you saw earlier, the out button is connected to a persistent switch, which is then powering on this XOR. And as before, when we were talking about XORs earlier, if both of the things that are connected to the XOR are powered, it's going to unpower the target. So this lever over here, or this switch here, as soon as it's powered, it will actually close this door because the XOR is now unpowered. And as you can see, the other side of the switch here is connected to all the different drains that are in the system. So basically what's happening is, as soon as I close this door after the whole place is filled up, it's really just draining all the water. It's not all that complicated. It's actually quite simple, and the water detectors are doing the rest of the work for us. So we just close the door, drain the water detectors do their thing, and yeah, we're good to go. So one more time. The switch here is powering both the drains, and it's closing the XOR when this is in the powered state. And yeah, it allows us to refresh the whole system from the outside, as well as refreshing it from the inside, which was part of the requirements. So that is the last component. So a big thanks goes out to TheGlaive, who has challenged me 3 times now with this airlock. I got to use a lot of the... I think I've used almost every single gate, with the exception of the latch gate. I still don't know what the latch gate is for, but this is a really great exercise to show some more complicated wiring going on. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I'll make sure that the link to the stream at which I did the building of this is in this video, so that if you wanted to watch me going through the thought process of actually building this out, you can watch it by clicking that link. And yeah, this airlock is as done can be. But if you yourself have something that you like to challenge me with, but I want to leave it to wiring. My creativity is on the very, very low side. I make boxes. This is the most aesthetic base you'll ever see that I will build. So if you can keep it to something more akin to wiring, or maybe some logistical type stuff, like farming or whatnot, please go ahead and challenge me. But to make a pretty house, I am the last person on this planet that you want to have make a house for you. All my regulars on my stream will agree with me on that one. But yeah, if you have a challenge that you'd like to see me do, please throw it my way. Put it in a comment. And like I said, really thank TheGlaive for these 3 challenges. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully I fulfilled all the requirements put down. But yeah, this is Johnnyonoes playing Starbound version 1.0. Thanks so much for watching, folks. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop a comment. See you in the next episode.